Hi, this is Serge again and you are on the part 2 of SQL for Noobs. If you have not watched the first video yet, I highly recommend you to watch it first. But if you have already watched it, then congratulations, you are now on the next level. So, without further ado, let's get started. Hi, today I am going to teach you how to code in SQL. So first up, you need to open the XAMPP panel. XAMPP panel. Right click and you should run that as an administrator. Okay, so according to our last video, you should click this. In our case, you have already clicked it, so no problem. You should click the start button on the MySQL row. Okay, you will see that green highlight, it means it started. And then the logs here, it also said that it starts. So we're good. Okay, so let's just minimize it for a while. Then you want to open your command prompt. So how will you do that? So click the Windows button, then search for cmd, right click, run as administrator. Yes. Okay, then you want to change directory to where you installed the XAMPP. So in our case, it is located at the C program files sa MySQL bin. So how am I going to get there? Just type cd. That means go one level up and one step. So do it once more. Then we're gonna type cd. Cd means change directory, by the way. Cd program files XAMPP. My SQL, since we're learning SQL today, then bin. Okay. Then if you know cd, that means you're good to go. Then just type this MySQL root ph127. So I'm gonna try to explain each part here. So MySQL is the code to run the server instance. Use, which means the username. Well, for this case, root is your username, which is the default password. Then if no text is after the password, that means no password. H means host. For this case, your host is the local host, which is the 127.00.1. Just hit enter. Hit enter. Is it loading? Yan. Okay, just click enter once again. So when you see this message, that means you're in the database. So MariaDB, the XAMPP uses MariaDB database, and this is supposed to show the current database that is selected. So we should create a database. So how are we going to do that? Just type this code: create database. In this tutorial, I want to create database for employees. So let's name the database employee database with the semicolon, don't forget. So that means query, okay, one row affected. So this part is already a query. So you're telling the system to create a database name employee database. So one way to list all the database is to type show databases. There we go. As you can see, our database listed there. Others are just default databases that XAMPP puts in. Okay. So none is still selected. So how we're going to do that? Just type use and then the name of the database, which in this case is employee database. Okay. Database changed. So we have now switched to the employee database. Now we have that. we want to create a table. So how are we going to do that? Just follow the format. Okay, the format is create table, then the table name. I want to name, in this case, employee list. Then inside these brackets, I mean parentheses, are the fields of your database. So our first field will be named ID. It is int, not null, auto, increment. I'll explain this in a while, so let me type them all first. Primary key. Last name is a varchar 100. First name varchar, then the last, which is age. Okay, so when you're gonna create a table, you're going to want to define the fields. So we have the first field, which is this. ID is the name. It is an int data type, not null. That means that this field is not accepting any null values. Auto increment, that means every entry or row, the int value increases by 1, and it is a primary key. So the second field, which is separated by a comma, we just name this last name. I mean, varchar means it accepts a string which can only have 100 characters in length. Okay, then first name, same thing, age int, meaning it can only accept integer values. So we forgot a semicolon, just press enter. There we go. Query okay, zeros affected. That's good. So we now have a table. So how are we going to insert data into it? So this is the code. Insert into, then the table name, database, employee list. Okay, then inside it are the fields. So we have created a field for our last name, first name, and age. Okay, so you now have selected the field, specified the fields. How about the values? So since that is a varchar field, the last name, gonna want to enclose that in single quotes. Okay, let's try Doe for a last name, then John, age 20. Don't forget the semicolon, press enter. Query okay row, one row affected. That means under this table, employee database, one table has changed, or saying affected. So how are you going to see the change? The code is select asterisk from table name, which is employee list. So the select keyword allows you to select data which you want to specify. So in this case, specified select this wildcard character. That means all, by the way. So basically select all from employee list. That's what it means. So when you press enter, the database showed us all entries. So we have this entry, John Doe, age of 20, and then ID of 1. So since this ID is an auto increment field, the program's already been taken care of that. So you don't have to worry. It will auto increment each row. That's why we did not specify the ID thing here, right? So okay, we did use create, insert into, select. How about let's insert more data. By the way, I'm pressing arrow key so that I may go back to my previous commands. Okay, let's just change the values here. I don't know. Mary. Okay, 30. More insert. Let's say Radcliffe. Daniel. around 40s. Okay, let's see what we have done. And okay, so 1, 2, 3, all the data to be inserted are there. Okay, so what if you want to update a particular row? How are you going to do that? This is the code. Just type update table name, in this case employee list. Then we want to add the set keyword, last name field. We will choose a field, Marquez, where ID is equal to 1. So update, we're telling the system to update the table employee list, and we will set the last name to Marquez if that ID value is 1, which is in this case this. So we are expecting this to change from Do to Marquez. Okay, let's press enter. Okay. Query okay, 1 row affected. Okay, good. So let's view the change by typing select all from employee list. So press enter. There we go. As you can see, from Do to Marquez. Okay, so that means our update code is working. So this is the format, guys. So okay, let's move on. How about if you want to get the average, let's say average age of this field? So the code is this: select ABG. ABG is for average. Then the field name, which is age, from table name, which is employee list. Okay, so as you can see, we use the select keyword again because we want to display data. Okay, that's the trick. If you want to tell the system to display some data, automatically you will choose the select keyword, AVG average. You will select the average of age from the employee list. So when you press enter, there we go, 30. So 20, and the average values of 20, 30, and 40 will be 30. Okay, you can also do that. Change this to sum. It does the sum, so it adds them all. Okay, so let's insert some more values. Remember, I'm just pressing arrow keys. Okay, Jackson. Michael Jackson. Okay. More sunny. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we have this. How about if you want to delete? Okay, delete some entries. This is the code. Delete from table name, employee list, where ID is equals to 20. In this case, John Marquez has the ID, let's say age. There we go. And Marquez is 20 years old and he qualifies for this query. So you can press enter and click select all. It will reflect. See? Okay. Let's try to describe the table structure. So how are we going to do that? Let's type describe table name. Yes, okay. So as you can see, this would match in this. In the first line, we define them. Okay, so it will reflect here. So I think that would be all the basic stuff you would need to know about SQL and how it works. So I recommend you to try it on your own as well for you to learn it more. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.